All right, we're back in World of Warcraft. I haven't streamed much lately because there's been a lot of stuff going on in my real life, RL, that's kept me out of WoW to some degree. But something interesting happened. I actually was just leveling my kind of leather gear only warrior, and this paladin came along and kind of healed me or buffed me, and he started talking to me. He asked me, and I told him that because I was kind of fighting two like raptors and my health was really low. Hey, what's up? Yeah, I only wear robes. If you read the description of the stream, this is a robe wearing only. I actually need to update the stream description a little bit because I was just trying to explain that this guy in the guild called Fists of Tyr just invited me to join their guild, but their guild is, check it out. Their guild is all priests and paladins. They said they will accept a warrior, but the warrior has to have certain RP restrictions. Well, I was already doing RP restrictions on my warrior, saying that my warrior could only wear leather gear, and that whatever chest piece she wore had to be something that covered her chest and her legs at the same time, which typically is going to be a robe or a dress, right? So typically, I've been wearing a robe ever since I pretty much started this character. Or once I got my first robe, till now, I've been wearing a robe. And my shoulders are cloth shoulders, and the rest of my gear is leather. And this person said, you can join the guild if you always wear a robe, and if you only use a staff or a mace and shield combo. And I wouldn't have joined the guild if they would have said, you can only use the staff and that's it, because the whole point of this warrior is to really, I want to level kind of like a protection type build. So we're just getting to the point now that we're high enough level that we're putting our talent points into protection. We went 5 out of 5 on deflection because we wanted some mitigation because we're going to have really shitty armor, so we're going to take a lot of damage. And then, of course, we went into improved charge and just tactical mastery because we need to have some rage so we can stand stance. And then we went for, obviously, the 5% crit. And I went for improved demo shout because we're trying to equalize the playing field. Since I don't have a lot of armor, I take a lot of damage. One of the ways to mitigate damage is to reduce the attack power of the enemies. So I went for improved demoralizing shout, so we can debuff enemies pretty strongly. And now that we've taken care of the first two trees, all the rest of the points are going into protection. So from 29 to 60, it's all protection. But yeah, so I joined this guild called Fist of Tyr, but I can only use a mace and a shield. So we're still going to call this I'm calling this the Wanderer Challenge, but still, it's the only difference really is that I have to use a mace and a shield. I can't use swords or axes anymore. I can't use swords or axes or daggers anymore. I can only use a mace and a shield. Or a staff. So that's the only real difference. Pretty much. And I'm in a different guild. It's kind of cool. It looks like I am the only warrior in this entire guild, which is kind of cool. That's pretty cool, right? Like, this guild is a priest paladin only guild unless you follow their RP restrictions for the warrior, which I am. So I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was kind of neat. So I got to figure out what to do. Well, let's go do the war banners or whatever. I'm so hesitant to sell these other weapons because it sucks because some of these are pretty good, but we're gonna have to sell them. So we're getting rid of our axe. We're getting rid of our reaver, and that's good. I really need to finish this other quest so I can start cooking up these raptor eggs. Oh, and we don't need this. And I need to update all my macros. We switched. Unfortunately, my mace is I just looted this mace off of Worgen earlier today, and it's 2.7 attack speed, so it's not the best mace for me. I mean, it's good. Would be good for raptor or for heroic strikes, but it's not going to be good for rage generation because it's really slow. But, what can you do? What can you do? Go smack some people in the face with a mace. So, the whole idea is to make my character look. He even said, He said you just have to look monkish. So I have to look like a, as much as I try to make my character look like a monk, basically. So that's why I actually threw on this cloak. Because I have a, I think what's a better cloak, to be honest, the agility strength if I want to go for DPS, but it's the crappy looking one. So since I'm trying to make the character look more like a monk, I went with a longer cloak. I just need to get a hood. So, alright, so we're gonna go do the, we're gonna go do this quest, the Dragon Maw banners. We still need to kill Sorrowtooth, and I probably could kill him at my level. But I think I'm gonna wait till I'm 30. I too take a lot of damage because of, you know, my gear. I don't have very good armor class. Really need to prioritize stamina gear, really. Stamina is going to be my greatest stat. I don't know what my mace skill's at. Let's kill some low-level mobs here and find out. So this is going to be interesting. We're going to be using mace and shield. Unless we want to use our staff, but... And my mace skill looks like it's pretty low, so... Defense, baby. Defense. Look at that. Defense, barber, shield block.
Lovely. 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 Lovely.
You can see, like, I really need to get the 5 out of 5 here so we get the 100% chance to generate rage when we block. And then when we get to the point where we have 100% chance when we get generate rage when we block, I can probably start killing 2 mobs at a time. That way, when I do shield block, I'll be getting multiple blocks off, which will generate multiple points of rage. I don't know. It's going to be weird. Like, I'm not sure how much defense... I'm not sure how tanky this character will be. I mean, we'll have improved shield block. Don't really have a lot of ways to get more armor. I mean, toughness isn't that great. You don't have much armor. Actually, getting improved blood rage will help quite a bit. Generate more rage.
Alone be praised.
This might be a fairly short stream just because I'm really tired. I was at a concert today with my wife. It was kind of like this country kind of concert thing. And I was there for over 4 hours, and so I'm actually kind of tired. Because it was in this kind of concert hall, and it was really hot in there. Like, their air conditioning didn't work very well. And I was dying in there, man. Like, it was so hot. And I kind of had a headache, and then I came home, and Took care of the dog, took care of the cats, ate some dinner, and then I was playing WoW for about, I don't know, probably for a couple hours before I started streaming. So we'll try to go as long as I can and then pass out. But I don't work tomorrow, and my wife's not going to be home tomorrow. She's taking care of her mom, so I'll probably be streaming a lot tomorrow. Just gotta try not. I just gotta try not to die. Do not want to die. Someone's messaging me. What's their tabard look like? It looks like it's they've got a white tabard. Okay, their tabard looks decent. It's the white tabard with the golden. Can't tell if it's got the crap border I don't like, which is that like furry looking border. I don't think it does. So the tabard, okay, the tabard actually looks pretty good. It's a white tabard, which I like because my character has white hair. Okay, let's see.
Everything you never do, and all you never say, never make it easier to numb out all the pain.
Let's get buffed up.
Like anything was wrong, it never made it right. You're the one to come on strong, so why am I all alone? Here we go again, the same old thing. Smiling through a bleeding heart, I'll fake it till I break apart.
Lovely. Lovely. Lovely.
It's gonna take forever to kill these guys if I'm doing like defensive stance. So let's yeah, my weapon skill's probably not real good with this weapon too. There we go. I'm hoping that my weapon skill's really bad, like that it has a lot more room to go up. Let's see. Yeah, it is. Yeah, 145, and we're only 122. So yeah, we do have a little bit of room to grow on the mace, which is good. Bray, what's up? I didn't take care of the hamsters. Yes, I forgot the hamsters. So we joined this new guild. I was just saying, Frey, it's pretty cool. So I was fighting. I like the name of the guild. Fists of Tyr, I think, is a cool name for a guild. And look at my title. They gave me my title is cleric. So the cool thing with this guild is what they are. Is they're a priest paladin only guild. But the guy, like this paladin, walked by and he buffed me. And he said, and I said, hey, thanks. And he said, be careful, because I was fighting 2 raptors and my health was really low. And he healed me. And I said, yeah. I said, I'm a warrior that can only wear leather armor, and I have to wear a robe. As my part of my stipulations for the Wanderer challenge that I created myself is that I have to wear a robe, or something that covers my chest and legs. The chest piece does. And he said, oh, he's like, you want to join our guild? And I go, why? And he goes, well, our guild, Fist of Tyr, he goes, it's only paladins and priests. He goes, but we do have this weird rule where warriors can be in the guild, but they have to adhere to certain RP aspects. And I said, well, what are those aspects? He said he said initially they have to wear cloth armor, they have to wear a robe in their chest piece, and they can only use a staff or a mace and shield. And I said, well, I just sold a mace to the vendor, so I could go back to the vendor and get the mace. And I go, I've already got a 2-handed staff, so I could do a mace, shield, and staff. I said, but I've been leveling where I can wear leather, but my chest piece is always a robe. So I said, he goes, well, I don't make the rules. He goes, I'm not the guild leader. And I said, why don't you ask him if it's okay if I can wear leather, but my chest piece has to be a robe. And then I'll adhere to all your other requirements, which is, the shield and the mace and the staff. And he said, and they got back to me. Yeah, I know. I know. They said it's called the guild is. They even say it's like for the light and all that. And they said, and they came back. They said that's fine. They said that's fine. You can wear leather armor, but they said the goal is to make my character look like a monk. So it's kind of like you're trying to portray like a monk with the fight with the warrior, right? The warrior is kind of like a monk. You know, you got a robe and you got a staff, and but you can use a shield and a mace, which is great. I wouldn't have done it if they would have said I had to use a two-handed staff only. I would not have done it because I'm like, no. I mean, I'm going protection. You know, I want to level out the rest of my talent points from 29 to 60 and all in protection trees. So I'm going to be using a mace, you know, a shield a lot. You know, a lot less. So once we get more stuff going, you know. So they said, yeah, they said I could do it. I said, this is cool. I said, yeah, let's do it. So I quit the guild I was in, which is the Elf Corps. And now we're in
Lovely.
Tears Hand, which I think is a cool name for a guild. Tears Hand's a pretty cool name, actually. So, and I got to get a tabard. Their tabard is actually pretty decent. It's a white tabard with a golden, like what looks almost like a golden kind of fist or something on it. Look at this guy trying to kill me. But look how little damage he does.
Lovely.
Look how long it takes me to kill him.
Lovely.
If I try to go like if I try to go like shield the whole way, it's very slow to kill because I don't do any damage, right? I'm not using, I don't generate enough rage yet. Now we will generate more rage, you know, once we. Yeah, they do. Yeah, it is kind of a neat. I always thought so too. I will generate more rage once we get improved blood rage. We'll get 4 more rage that way, and then once I get 5 points out of 5 points here, we'll have a 100% chance, I believe, right? Because it's 20 per. Yeah, we'll have 100% chance that we generate a point of rage every time we block. So I'm hoping we'll get to the point where we can pull 2 mobs at a time, pop shield block, and generate like, you know, at least 2 points of rage every time we block, right? That's what I'm hoping. And we'll see. But we can use our staff here to do damage. So let's start off with this. We'll debuff.
Lovely.
Let's see if we can get some debuffs going here. Let's get this. Do a little shield block here. I wonder if I can shield block with a 2-headed staff. We're gonna put our staff in. Oh, nice. We're gonna go for
Lovely.
that. Go back into battle stance. I can't even. I need a better ranged weapon. Oh, I missed. Bastard. Let's try a fight with just the 2-handed staff. Probably gonna take a lot more damage. Ooh, but look at the crits. Oh yeah. Staff hits way harder. So that's cool.
Lovely.
Boom. Big damage. I kind of look like a monk. That was the point of this. They want you to kind of look like a monk. So. Big damage. Tough.
Lovely. Lovely. Lovely.
Hey, Dante, what's up, man?
Lovely.
Warrior's going okay. We just joined a new guild though. I was just telling these other guys. This paladin walked by and healed me because I was kind of in a tough fight against a couple raptors. And when I told him that I was a leather only wearing warrior who has to wear a robe in her chest piece, he said, "Hey, why don't you join our guild?" And I go, "What's your guild?" And he's like, "It's the Fists of Tyr," which I think is a cool guild name. But he said it's a paladin priest only guild. He said we do accept warriors. Say hi to your girl Emily. She smiled when you said my name. Don't I? Hey Emily, what's up? What's up, Emily? Hello, hello, hello. Don't I? Don't I? Don't I? Anyways, so this guy, he said we do accept warriors in our guild, but they have to follow certain RP rules. And I said, well, what are those rules? And he said, well, they have to use a two-handed staff or a mace and shield. Those are the only weapons they can use. And they said they have to wear, like, a robe all the time. Like, they can only wear a robe. And I said, well, I said, I've only been wearing a robe in my chest piece. I said, that's part of the challenge I've been doing. But I've been wearing leather armor in my other slots. I said, is that okay? And so they asked the guild leader, and the guild leader said, yeah, as long as you're using a shield and a mace and a staff, and you're wearing a robe, it said it's okay that I can wear leather in the other slots. And I said, cool. And I said, I'll join, sign me up. I said, it's kind of cool, the Fist of Tyr. I said, this is a neat little... I just think it's cool that I'm the only warrior. This guild is all priests and paladins and me, one warrior. I'm the only warrior. Probably because most people can't level. Think about it. If you could only wear a robe and you can only wear a two-handed staff and a mace and a shield, a lot of warriors aren't going to want to do that. You know, it'll turn off a lot of warriors probably. But not me. I was pretty much already doing that anyway. So the goal is to make the warrior look kind of like a monk. That's why the staff and the robe. But they said you get, and I told him, I said, that's cool. I said, I didn't actually tell him this, but
Lovely.
if they would have told me that I could only use two-handed staff, I wouldn't have done it because obviously the goal of this character is to level mostly protection. So I have to have a shield. I love using a shield, you know, on any class, to be honest. So if they would have said you can't use a shield, I would have been like, forget it. But they say, yeah, you can use an mace and a shield. I'm like, oh, sweet. And I just looted a mace, like a decent mace, like off of Worgen, like literally like an hour ago. And I just vendored it to a vendor like 20 minutes before I talked to this guy. And I'm like, oh shit, I can run back to the vendor and buy that mace back, which I did, right? So I went back to I had to go back to a vendor and buy this battle smasher of strength. Yeah, so pretty cool, pretty exciting. I love challenges, you know. Shield's not great yet. The shield will be a lot better once we get shield block and shield specialization and a few other things online. It's going to be a lot better. And we are crushing with this staff, though. Damn. We're like kind of knocking these guys into next week. Play music. All right, man. Have a good one, Don't I? Thanks for stopping by, man. Enjoy. Tell your girlfriend to keep you in line.
Lovely.
We're going shield block, baby. Shield block. Let's see how much damage this guy does when I shield block. Probably not much.
Lovely.
Alright, see you, man. Oh, I should have disarmed him. Could have disarmed him right there. Oh well. The bow. I need a better bow. Definitely need a better bow. I also need to get... We need to go get our first aid book. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's disarm this guy. Just for shits and giggles.
Lovely. Lovely.
Look how long it takes to kill him when I do it this way.
Lovely.
Look, I dodged 2 attacks there. Nice. Shit, we're gonna get multiple targets here probably.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Alright, this could get tricky if they respawn around me, so we're gonna go defense.
Lovely.
I'm just gonna try to reduce damage. And we're gonna be
Lovely.
very careful about
Lovely.
what we're doing here. Ah, I see what you're doing.
You were
Lovely.
screwed.
Oh man, it's weird though because we don't have dual wield anymore, so that's reducing our output damage a lot unless we stick with the 2-hand weapon. So we're definitely gonna be looking to get better staves. A good staff's gonna be the key, or really good, shield and I guess mace combo. These guys are dangerous because of the damn webbing.
Lovely.
Ooh, bada bing, bada boom. Kind of dangerous. Yeah, it's a dangerous area because you can easily get respawns on top of you after they web you. I just pulled 2. This is why it's dangerous.
Lovely.
Damn.
You can kiss your ass
Lovely.
goodbye. Lovely.
Ooh, very dangerous. Here, let's go ahead and link the stream, I guess, and the Fists of Tyr Guild. we're gonna have to update all of my stream overlay, all my thumbnail images now, because a lot of them are with swords, and we can't use a sword anymore. So that's gonna have to be updated. I'll create some new thumbnails. This area is more dangerous than I gave it credit for. I was a little bit cavalier running in here, but...
Kept in the dark. Am I so useless? Mouth folded shut. And I'm feeling restless. All the seams you
Lovely.
tearing from the inside, jagged little cuts. It feels like war this time. The ground was bare. I tried to drown. The emptiness couldn't turn it all around. Pull the shutter. See the world fly by. Like images on fire. If only I knew better. Show me something real. Make me feel alive. Nothing to conceal. Dress me up in all the
Namzugas Maza Kazum. Kazum Kazum Kadog, Lonely Noob. I have no idea what he just said. Didn't sound good though.
watching from a distance. In a crowded room. Looking over silhouettes.
Lovely. Lovely.
Just to find you.
Lovely.
All I knew was lost, fading on the outside. No one counts the cost.
kiss your ass goodbye.
And these guys doing too much damage.
Lovely. Lovely.
Not the time to kill, dude. If I go mace and shield, it takes forever to kill anything. Oh man. Somebody's shooting fireworks off. Not 4th of July yet, people. Yeah, somebody is literally shooting fireworks off outside my house. People are silly. Alright, let's go turn this quest in. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. I do need... actually, I do know... Actually, you know what? Let's not turn this in. Let's set up to Stromgard Keep. Let's get our first aid book. There's a wild steel bloom up there, but I can't get it from her. But
Safe travels.
What's on your mind? Be good.
Hello.
I don't really want to spend all that money when I get it
Looking for something
as a
seasonal?
quest reward pretty
See you
soon.
later.
I have the finest wires in the land.
But we,
I supply only the finest goods.
oh, do we want to waste the money on buying this recipe? We do have 23 we can cook up though. Nah, I don't want to waste the money.
See you around.
Get the recipe for free by killing Sorreltooth. Right here. Also, we get the upgraded bow. It's nice because it's got a high top end damage. It's good for when mobs trying to run away from me and I'm rooted, like with those orcs, because I can get some crits with the bow at range. Sometimes I can drop people with it while I'm rooted. It's handy. Got to be wary of the undead pathers here.
Time to love. Wake up. Don't let the dark pull us under.
Slow moving horses.
How are you? Have a good one.
Time to love. Wake up.
There's no way I can take out Stalvin. He would annihilate me. Stalvin would definitely annihilate me.
Night so quiet it hums. A melody under my thumb. City lights blink like tired eyes. A whisper in the alley dies. Moonlit streets, they carry me. Soft shadows, my compass.
Let's go ahead and see if we can completely relieving myself of all responsibility for being. All right. So he said I should message Miniden. So let's go to. Check. I guess we'll just have to do a private message because I don't see. We'll hear Miniden. Here's Miniden. He is. I don't know what he is. What's his title? He's the. While I'm typing here, I'm just going to log out to save time on that priest buff. Hi, Minodin. I was invited. I joined the guild and was told, okay, I'm a warrior, but I wear only a robe in my chest piece. I have been leveling in leather here only. My other slots. I was told I had to wear, and I could only use staves and a mace and shield. Is this correct? To make sure I'm following the guidelines. Thanks. Alright, so we messaged Miniden, the guild leader. Well, what is this? Drag the shape that fits the outline. Okay. How about that? I had to do a captcha. Gotta love that. Alright, so let's go level to 30 here. We can just kill some raptors, and I think once we get to 30, we can probably safely do Sorrel Tooth. Yeah, we'll take out Sorrel Tooth, the Zaraptor. Will give us a nice upgraded bow, 2.9 attack speed, which is going to do a lot more damage than this bow. Which hopefully will help me get some nice crits, hopefully. This is my crit with a bow anyway, it's probably total garbage. We'll see, range crit 6%, so not great. Not great. Okay, sweet. Alright, so he says basically correct. Miniden said that was correct, so we're good. We're following the guidelines. Alright. Let's do it. Let's do it. Will we be the first warrior in the guild? Well, we're the only warrior in the guild, right? Looks like this guild's fairly new. Let's see. I know they got one person in guild who's 60. But I'm right here, so I'm pretty high level in this guild. And the guild has 160. This is cool. I like guilds that aren't too big. You got about 163 guild members. They have a cool little RP thing going on. I dig it. So this is cool. Very cool. Why is it? They said I could wear dress pants if I wanted to. Like I could have like a leather chest with like a skirt. So basically, I could have a leather BP with a skirt. I think that's what he's saying. So you could get away with that. I'm not gonna really do that. I mean, I would have way better stats if I did that because generally I could get like a leather chest piece with agility and stuff, and then just get like some sort of a skirt. There aren't too many skirts. There's a few. I would like to. I gotta see what the Zulfaric robe is. There's a robe from ZF. Let's go Zulfaric loot. Alright. Loot table, classic, wow. Not sure. Gotcha. Let me see if we can find the loot from ZF. I'm curious what stats are on the robe. They're probably, let's see, deflector, carrot stick, bad mojo mask. The robe. Is it the jinxed hooded skin? No, that's not it. Oh, there's the kill. But it's intellect and spirit. Okay, so yeah, so it's not a robe. I take it back. Not a robe. Yeah, there aren't a lot. I actually kind of did a little bit of research on this already, and there aren't a ton of robes. There is one robe that gives a ton of stamina. Let's go to Anthropic. Hold on a second. Let's go to Cloud here. I don't know if I still have the chat. I think I do. I'm leveling a warrior in classic arrow. Wow. At 1 point, what is it? 5? I don't remember what. Wow. I can only robes. Can you give me all of the good alliance attainable robes from quests or dungeons from level 25 to 60. That'd be interesting. See what Cloud comes up with. I should have got more food. Oh well.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Ah. This is definitely going to slow down my leveling like a lot because I can't dual wield. Like this the way they have this challenge set up is I can't dual wield, so
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
which means we're going to want to have a hopefully like really good stabs. Otherwise, we're just going to take it's going to take too long to kill stuff. Problem is when I dual wield, I generate rage faster, so the fights end quicker usually. Plus, when I dual wield, usually I have more stamina because my my one-hand weapons a lot of times will have stamina on them. So this is going to be interesting. If we could get like a really good staff, like if we got really lucky and got something like the Warden Staff, pray to God we get the Warden Staff drop or something. That would be like obviously the best in slot item we could possibly get. So everybody pray that I get a Warden Staff drop, world drop. That would be, we'd know that the RNG gods are on our side if that happened.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
I don't know if I can take it. I'm sure I can probably take out Sorreltooth. Maybe. Level 29. I don't know if I can. I'm not sure if I can take out Sorreltooth. It's a little bit risky. Still have the stamina buff up, so now's a good time to try. Get our food buff up, yeah. Shot. Let's give it a go. Shit. I just took a potion. Shit, that wasn't very smart. That was not very smart. I popped a rage potion, which means I can't take a healing potion for
Lovely.
so many seconds. We're gonna go defense.
Lovely. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
We're fine. Yeah, we're more than fine. It was dumb of me to take a rage potion. I wasn't thinking. I was like, I'll just pop a rage potion. That's one of the reasons why I don't like rage potions on hardcore warriors, because you're using a rage potion. Well, then you can't use a healing potion. It's kind of stupid. So I'll probably vendor my rage potions, just so that I don't tempt myself to accidentally use them in situations where I shouldn't. Oh, the time to kill in defensive stances. It's like 3 times longer. Like the time it takes for me to kill a mob when I use like a defensive stance with just revenge. Because I don't generate enough rage to actually pull off like rogue strikes. Ooh. Oh, that's the same as... We'll see what it looks like. Do we like the look of it better? Shit.
Lovely.
Sure if we do.
Lovely. 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 Lovely.
Alright. I think I like the look of my cloak better? Maybe? Green or this one? I think I like this one better. Yeah, I do. Plus it's a little bit longer. Vendor that one.
You got my attention. Watch, get her back.
Alright.
Be good.
So that's going to be a nice bow upgrade. Yeah, it's way more damage than my bow. Which, believe it or not, that's, like I said, it actually makes a difference. When mobs are trying to run away from you and aggro other mobs, if you can hit them with a bow and take them out. So since we're leveling this way, like where we can only use a staff and a shield and mace, my build that I'm doing is going to not be very good. I mean, it was never going to be great, but I'm still going to try to do it. Still going to go protection. It's just going to take me longer to get to 60, like a lot longer, actually. It'll add a lot of time to the leveling process. But that's alright.
Lovely.
Here, watch how much damage this bow does. Yeah, 50 damage. My other bow would have been like 30 something. That's quite a bit more. The new fresh side, I haven't really paid much attention to it, to be honest. I don't really care for. I don't really like Season Discovery that much. I jumped into the Season Discovery and tried it for like a couple minutes. I didn't like it. Basically, you're letting people just like take money and buy a bunch of abilities at level 1. I mean, you're like I created a paladin and I was like level 1 and had like all these abilities. It just felt bad. It didn't feel good. Like the whole point of like vanilla is to progress, is to slowly over time get stronger. And it felt like you were giving like a character's like all these skills at level 1. It felt like I was playing Ascension WoW. You ever played Ascension WoW? It felt like that. Like the characters were just like overpowered too soon, and yeah, I didn't like it. I'm a little bit more old school. Like I think I'm definitely old school. I like games that are a little bit more challenging, and I felt like SOD was just, again, it was like Ascension WoW. It wasn't about like struggling. It was more about, and there was like these buffs that let you level really fast, which I don't like that either. Like to me, the whole enjoyable part of classic WoW is the leveling journey. That's why I like hardcore WoW, because it makes it more challenging. Yeah, I found SOD to be definitely not to my liking. Not something I would play.
Lovely.
But I'm sure a lot of people like that kind of shit. But probably not people that started playing WoW in 2004 like I did. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know what's if Classic Plus is anything like SOD, which I'm sure it won't be, but if it was, that would be awful. I'm not sure. I just don't know if Blizzard. Well, I don't know. I don't think Blizzard gets it. I don't think they understand what the true like vanilla player base wants. The reason hardcore WoW is so popular is because it gets rid of RMT, it gets rid of bots, it gets rid of all that kind of bullshit, right? Like if you're doing like self-found hardcore, you can't use the auction house, you can't trade with other players. That immediately eliminates all of the stupid nonsense, the boosting, the gold buying, the gold selling, you know, that fucking, you know, what's it called? Oh god, I can't remember. Those raids where you, oh, you know, those raids where you basically pay gold for items. My brain's not working right now, but it gets rid of all that nonsense, and people love it, right? That's why hardcore WoW is so popular. Blizzard seems to think that people want gimmicks, that people want crazy power creep. You know what I mean? Like crazy systems that make players overpowered. You know, players don't really need. Players will bitch that they're not overpowered. Players will bitch that it takes too long to get skills, that they don't have enough abilities. But as long as there's the power level is slowly going up on a curve, like a nice straight line. Not really a curve. It's more like a gradual. That's the whole point. You know, MMOs like really came from, for me anyway, it came from Dungeons and Dragons. And in Dungeons and Dragons, you're level 1. To level from level 1 to level 10 takes a long time. It's not quick, right? You don't just level from 1 to 10 in like one session. That's not the way it works. If you're leveling that fast, your dungeon master's doing it wrong. You know what I mean? The whole point is about the journey. The whole point is about community. It's about doing stuff with other players and enjoying the process of, you know, overcoming challenges that aren't easy. You know, and that shit's just been lost. You know what I mean? It's been lost to MMO designers, in my opinion. You know, you don't need to throw a bunch of flashy, glitzy shit at players. You just need to give them a really good community-based experience where people can work together to overcome difficult challenges and grow together, and to work in it as a community. You know, to have really cool like crafting systems for players to help other players. Like, oh, I'm a miner and I need stuff to help craft stuff, but you know, I'm not a miner, so you know, they can lean on someone in their guild to help them out. You know, just stuff like that. You know. Yeah. These level 29 raptors just are tearing me
You
up.
can kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah, big time. Probably shouldn't be fighting these guys.
You were screwed.
Ooh, I think I'm gonna have to take a healing potion here.
Lovely.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a healing potion. Wow, level 29 raptor just shreds me. That shows you how weak I am in this gear. That's the first time I've had to use a healing potion in a while. Oh, we did get the... Oh, yeah, we did get the Curiosity Tasty Omelet. Nice. That saved me 45 silver from having to buy it myself. Yeah, mostly. You're right though. Like if you're playing on a regular server that isn't hardcore, and you're like doing like if you're trying to be like a raider or something, you're gonna spend so much money. People spend money from gold because the problem is because there's gold sellers, it ruins the economy, right? It ruins the economy because all these people buy gold and then they shove all this gold into the auction house. You know, they take all this gold they bought and they don't mind buying stuff. And so they're taking all this gold and they're buying shit off the auction house, supply and demand, right? So if people put a bunch of stuff in the auction house and it sells right away because they're listing it at pretty low prices, when the server is fresh, all the stuff gets bought out and then there's not as much supply, but the demand's still there. So then people put the stuff in there and of course they understand that since there's very little supply, they can drive the price up. And that just does this huge, horrible scaling where the prices just skyrocket. And it doesn't take but a month or two for a fresh realm to be corrupted by gold selling and gold buying. And then the problem is the people that aren't buying gold, they're going to struggle because everything costs so much. They're like, I can't afford these prices, you know? And so they either have to go out and spend hours and hours and hours farming stuff on their own, or they have to ask friends to help, or they just break down and buy gold, which is what most people do, sadly, because they just, nobody wants to spend most of their time in the game just grinding professions, gathering shit for 3 hours because they can't afford to buy the consumables, Yeah, so it's a treadmill that you can't get off of, The more gold people buy, the more the prices go up. So then guess what? The more gold you have to buy. It's a terrible cycle. And Blizzard doesn't seem to understand it. Or I'm sure they do, they just don't give a shit. Right? Because every bot that's on the server is making them money because they have to pay a subscription fee. That's actually one thing that would be interesting. Get rid of subscription fee. Get rid of the sub for WoW. Then Blizzard's not making money off the botters. Then the botters are now just ruining the game and Blizzard's not profiting. Right? Maybe at that point, Blizzard would say, hey, I got to get rid of these botters because they're not paying a sub. But Blizzard's too greedy. They would never do that because they're greedy bastards and they want their fucking money.
Lovely. You can kiss your ass goodbye. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
We got to get to 30. And then we'll see what we can do. Unfortunately, at level 30, we
Kiss your ass goodbye.
really don't get much at level 30, which kind of sucks.
Lovely.
I mean, all we get is... It's amazing that a warrior level 30, all you get is Rend and Slam. I think it's because there's the warrior class quest, which I would love to do the warrior class quest, but in my gear, there's no way I'm going to do that at level 30. I probably have to wait till like level 34 or 33 at least. Maybe I'm probably going to wait till 34 because I'm not going to get killed doing the warrior class quest. Now when I had to grind this hard just to get to level 30, man, there ain't no way. I'm not taking a chance of getting killed on that. But, you know, getting Berserker stance is going to be big because, you know, the rotation is going to be, you know, you're going to charge in, right? Charge in, demo shout, blow some of your rage, and then you're going to switch to Berserker stance, pop Berserker's rage, you know. I can't remember, there was a rotation that I used, and it's been so long since I've played Warrior. I might have to remember the rotation. I'll be able to figure it out just by doing it again, but... There's a lot of herbs, but they're all underground.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Shit.
Lovely.
Yeah, for sure. But there's a rotation I use for maximum rage. So basically, the thing is, like, blood rage doesn't matter what stance you're in, right? So you can charge blood rage, then switch to Berserker stance. I think Berserker rage. Let me take a look. I don't know if Berserker rage. I think it stays on even if you switch stances out of Berserker stance, right? I think it does. I can't remember, but yeah, normally, like, if I, you know, if blood rage, if blood rage is up, I can basically charge, you know, charge, demo shout, blood rage, switch to Berserker stance, Berserker rage, and generate a shit ton of rage. But I don't know, there's a certain way that I like to do it, and I can't remember what there's a certain order that I'll do. Yeah.
Lovely.
A lot of people say Rend is a complete waste of time, and it can be, you know, but I tend to use, I usually will throw in like one Rend, you know, in the beginning. What is HO? Hamstring, get forward. Yeah. Oh, you mean like move away and intercept? You could do that too. We'll see. I'll re-remember most of my rotations after just getting Berserker stance back. So I've played a lot of warrior. It's just been a couple years since I've. It's probably been a couple years since I've leveled a warrior past like 30. But I've leveled 2 warriors to 60 before, so it's just been a while. Yeah, I'm finding that just the Mason Shield is better than the staff, because I take a lot less damage. No, I'm not gonna kite. No, I'm not gonna kite. I ain't gonna do no fucking bullshit like hamstring kite method. That's way too much effort in my opinion. It's the same thing with like seal twisting on a paladin. It's like, yeah, it works, but it's just so much extra effort that I'm too lazy. It's good in certain situations, but there's ain't no fucking way I'm gonna hamstring kite. I just think that's way too much work. My theory on that is like if you're gonna play like 8 hours in a row, it's going to mentally fatigue you a lot more if you're doing stuff like hamstring kiting and like seal twisting than if you just
Lovely.
forgo all that shit and just do your regular rotations. Like mentally it will fatigue you so much more, right? Because you have to constantly be thinking about so many additional things and doing so many additional things that really don't give you that big a benefit. It's like, oh, I took like 10% less damage in that fight because I hamstring kite, or 20% less damage. You know, who cares? That's an extra like, 2-second tick on a foodie, you know what I
You
mean?
can kiss your ass goodbye.
I'm not gonna squabble, and I'm not gonna quibble about or worry about a couple extra seconds on just eating food. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I don't have a problem with eating between mobs. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I just don't find it worth it.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
It's just too much effort. I'm sure it works. It definitely works. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying for me, I'm too lazy. I'm not going to spend that much effort into fucking
You
running
are
back and
screwed.
forth, auto attacking, timing in, but because then I got to put in the swing timers and I got to watch the swing timer and okay, my swing timer's coming up. I can run in and auto attack and then I can run back out and it's just it. Plus, it's not fun. To me, it's not a fun game plot. It's not a fun game mechanic. It all those types of things where you have, do all these like min maxing things, like it's like side strafe, like it's like ripping. It's like doing the druid shit, you know. It's like doing the druid shit where you're like doing back attacks, but you're really doing it from the front, but it's because you're like strafing. You know what I mean? It's to me, it's almost kind of hacky. It's like, well, I'm kind of hacking the game to some degree because the game wasn't really meant to be played that way. So I'm just not really a big fan of it.
Screwed. Lovely.
It's like people doing logout skips, you know? Well, if you swim to this one little spot and log out and log back in, or, you know what I mean? I'm not really a big fan of logout skips either. Yeah, exactly. To me, when I play WoW or when I play any MMO, it's all about fun. It's all about making the game fun. And to me, it's more fun if it's more like if I'm doing the actual work, if I'm actually working at it, and I'm actually, and the game's a little bit more challenging. To me, it's more fun. You know, like if I'm like skipping stuff and min maxing and doing all these kind of hacky shit, doing back attacks by side, you know. It just, to me, it's just, it doesn't feel right. Anyways, just trying to grind to 30 here, and then I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do next.
Lovely.
Then we'll figure out what we're gonna do next. Hold on 1 second. I gotta do something in. What version are we on? What version is this in WoW? Is it 1.15? Hold on a second. Classic WoW add-on. I can't remember. I always forget the version of WoW we're on. Classic. It is 1.15.8. 1.15. 0.15. Stop. There. Yeah, it's 1.15.8. 1 second. I'm just trying to fix this weak aura. Transform event. Player. Okay, here we go. Player unit. Player unit. Transform. There we go. Player unit. Player stance form. Defensive stance. Let's see if this works. I only want this 1 weak aura to show when I'm in a certain stance, so. Strafe, what's up, man? Strafe, how you doing, buddy? We'll see if this weak aura is correct now. Yeah, it is, because it didn't see it's only showing my shield block. But if I go into defensive stance, once I get to 20 rage, it should show disarm. And there it is, once I hit 20. So yeah, that fixed that weak aura. I only wanted the disarm weak aura to show when I'm in defensive stance. We need more talent points into tactical mastery. I would love to get. I don't know, man. Let's take a look. We gotta look at the talent calculator. We gotta take a look at the talent calculator. Classic WoW talent calculator. Let's see. 2. Yeah, so I'm thinking. We'll have to. I have to look at that. We have to change that. I would like to get 2 more points into tactical mastery, but I'm not sure how we're gonna do it. What we have to give up.
Lovely. Lovely.
So Strafe, we had a little bit of a change in the rules. It's actually more difficult. I met a paladin who's in this guild called Tyr's Hand, and he buffed me, and I told him that I was doing this leather only challenge where I could only wear a robe in my chest piece. He's like, "Why don't you join our guild called the Fists of Tyr?" He's like, "We're a paladin priest only guild," which sounds a lot
Lovely.
like that challenge from Season Discovery that someone was trying to get me to do recently, right? Was it you, Stray? Who was trying to get me to do that Season Discovery challenge? Anyways. But it sounds kind of like that because it's priest paladins only. But he says, but you can be a warrior and be in the guild, but you have to wear a robe in your chest, please, and you can only use a 2-handed staff or a mace and shield. And I said, well, that sounds pretty cool. I said, can I still wear leather in my other slots? And they're like, yeah, you can still wear leather. He said the goal is for you to make your character look kind of like a monk, you know? And I was like, okay, that sounds good. I said, I like your guild name better than the guild I'm in. I like your guild tabard better than the guild tabard I'm. Plus, it's cool because I'm literally the only warrior in the entire guild. The guild is entirely comprised of paladins and priests, and then there's one warrior, hey, which is me. Look, paladin, priest, warrior. I'm the only warrior in the entire guild. Because to be a warrior in this guild, you have to have a robe as your chest piece, and you have to be wearing, like leather armor or less, I guess, in the other slots. Although they didn't say. He actually didn't say it has to be leather. He didn't say I couldn't wear mail, like maybe mail bracers or something, Yeah, I don't know, well, I won't be the main tank because they got paladins. Paladins will be the main tank. Because the paladin doesn't have the restrictions on... I don't know, I'll have to ask if I can wear mail in other slots. Like, could I wear mail bracers, for example? Stuff that doesn't show up. Because the goal, he said, is to make the warrior look like a monk. And I'm like, well, you don't really see bracers, and belts don't really look that much... like a mail belt doesn't really look that much different than like a leather belt or a cloth belt. So, we might be able to get away with wearing like mail bracers, or... I'll have to ask the guild leader that. Because the leather only challenge was kind of my thing, right? So we may change the rules and just, say, well, you can wear mail bracers and belt and boots, because the boots aren't going to be visible anyway because they're going to be beneath the robe, right? So I'll have to ask. I'm going to ask him that. Ooh, we just got another cloak. 5 strength. Wow. Full cloak, but I'd rather have the stamina. No, it looks like he's offline, the guild leader. I'll hit him up tomorrow, I guess.
Lovely. can kiss your ass goodbye. You were screwed.
Yeah, if we could go with like if it's okay with me wearing like the belt and the boots and the bracers, and maybe even the gloves as like male, then it's not gonna be that big a deal. That might make it where we could be strong enough to maybe tank a little bit, get a little bit more armor. I don't know. We'll see. I'll talk to the guild leader about it. As long as like if we could get a robe where there's long sleeves that cover, we're trying to make the character look like a monk, so I don't know.
Would you like to purchase something? Be seeing you.
Well met.
And he said I could. He said I could wear like leggings with a chest piece. Like if I got like a skirt like this sarong. I mean, we could buy like the Mystic Sarong. But it's like, what's the point? I mean, my leggings are really good. We lose 6 agility. But if we went with this, then we could do like a leather chest piece. As long as it, as long as it kind of had that kind of monk look to it, so to speak. So it's definitely an option. We always know where the Mystic Sarong's at in the game, so not too many people buy it. So that's an option. If we get like a really good leather chest piece that, that can go with a skirt and still look kind of like a monk kind of aesthetic, then then we could do that. But I would prefer just to continue to use robes. Giant.
Lovely.
Enough with the knockdowns, man.
You were screwed.
I'm stunned. Alright, I'm not gonna take any chances. That kinda sucks. I didn't really want to use a healing potion there, but
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
I didn't want to take any chances.
You were screwed.
Bastards. We're gonna have to make more healing potions. Apparently the lash tails have the knockdown. I don't think the other ones do. I mean, I guess that's why they're lash tails, because their tail like lashes out and knocks you off your feet. Yeah. Yeah, see, this is not a lash tail, so he's not going to be knocking me off my feet, I don't think. I'm going to stay away from the lash tails. Stay away from the voodoo.
Lovely.
Ooh. We got some... Ooh, 4 stamina. I was hoping it was going to be better than Mind Glows, but nope. Nope, it is not. Oh, do the females say come get it? I have no idea. Oh, it's obviously a sexual innuendo from all the douchebags at Blizzard who are like horny, hard up, perverted little boys.
Lovely.
Oh, this is the lash tail. He's gonna knock me off my ass. Of course, not if I dodge it though. Yeah, the staff does more damage. I just take a lot more damage.
Kiss your ass goodbye.
The corners of us, the empty space.
Lovely.
This guy's level 28.
Lovely.
Gonna do some damage, Jimmy? Or not? Is not. Inventory is full. Is that worth 6 silver? I want the 6 silver. I should have just made the cloth. That was stupid. Whatever. Stay away from the voodoo, man. Stay away from the voodoo. I have vision that she lacks. Or lash tails.
Lovely.
Boom! Bada bing, bada boom. I can use the large fangs for. Sharp claw we can use, but it's not really. Take the egg. Yeah, I gotta figure out where we're gonna level. Where are we gonna level? I think there's probably some quests we can do here. In Astronar, I think. Race cleansing. Howling Veil, no, I don't want to do those. Fallen Sky, me. Not really great.
Hello.
Don't need. This one. This one.
Goddess, watch over you.
Ah.
Ishnu Allah. Ishnu Dal Diem. Good luck.
I'm gonna go AFK while she's flying to Darnassus, but I'm gonna end the stream pretty soon. I'm just gonna go to Darnassus, take some house cleaning, do some housekeeping, maybe make some potions, clear out my inventory, do a few things, and then I'll be back streaming tomorrow. Well, like in, like 6 hours from now, like 7 hours from now, 7 or 8 hours from now, I'll be back. Right now it's 1:44 a.m., so I'll be back tomorrow morning to continue the grind on the, I don't know what we call this. We're calling it the Wanderer Challenge, but now it's, I guess it's the Monk. So the Wanderer / Monk Challenge. Now that we're under these rules from this new guild, it's more difficult. Oh, Minon's back online. Let me ask him. Would I be able to wear male bracers and boots and belts? Since I could still look like a monk. These are mostly hidden. Or is it leather? Cloth only? I'm asking the guild leader if I'm able to wear bracers in like the wrist and... Because the challenge, like in this guild, they said they just want your warrior to kind of look like a monk, and that you can only use a staff, you can only use like a mace and a shield. So, but I'm not sure if we could wear mail at all. I don't know if it's a specific armor type. or if it's more of just a physical look. Like you have to physically look like a monk. Because you can still look like a monk and have, male bracers on and male boots, because the boots would be under your robe and the bracers would be under the robe. Or, bracers are bracers in WoW. You know what I mean? They don't always look like, you can see 2 or 3 different sets of bracers in WoW that on your character you couldn't tell if it's mail or cloth. So we'll be interested to see. Because if we could wear like male bracers, boots, and belt, that'll, just give us some more armor. Plus it'll give us more options as far as gear that we find, since we are self-found. So it'll just give us more options, things that we can equip. And more options is always a good thing. Okay, cool. Alright, so it's leather and cloth. Alright, cool. So we can't wear any mail. Alright. Oh, you heading out, Tribal? Alright, man. Have a good one, dude. I just got confirmation from the guild leader. Has to be leather or cloth only. Okay, so that's fine. I'm fine with that. I just didn't know if their challenge was more physical. So leather it is. That means we're gonna be, our armor class is gonna be very low. We'll just have to make do. Okay, cool. Alright, so he says think of it as like a cleric from Dungeons & Dragons. Alright, cool. And that's actually my guild. Is that a guild rank? Like currently, like if you hover over it, says cleric. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's still, yeah, no armor is best armor. Yeah, so we're leather cloth only, and he said think of it as like a cleric in Dungeons & Dragons, which makes sense. So we're like a cleric, kind of. We're trying to be, but that's why we can use, mace, because, clerics are maces and shields pretty much. I don't really think of a cleric as using a staff, but I would honestly just like to use the mace and the shield all the way to 60, but unfortunately on warriors, like in defensive stance, like you don't even have to be in defensive stance. I mean, we can be in battle stance with the mace and the shield, obviously, but the problem right now is I just have no rage generation. Like I'm really struggling generating rage. Once we get Zerker stance, we'll have a little bit more options. We'll be able to pop Zerker rage because we'll have we'll have blood rage and Zerker rage, so we'll have 2 different ways to generate some additional rage. So we'll see. I want to make some more. Well, we got healing potions, so we don't need to craft more healing potions just yet. We do have plenty. We can cook up all the. Oh my god, we have a lot of eggs. We can cook up all these eggs. Guess we'll go ahead and cook up some potions, I guess. We do have one. We can do one of these. Ooh, we could do that. We could do firepower, fire oil. Fire oil, though, we're gonna need some firefin snapper. Goldthorn. Actually, hold off on this. Okay, so I'm reading. Okay, so I'm reading from the message from the guild leader. It says, "So leather cloth to keep it fair for paladins, priests in the guild, and for RP reasons, Nelf priestess worship to a loon might not let them wear male armor. They don't even have blacksmithing in Darnassus. So for RP reasons, might not wear mail armor. So that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. So he's saying, kind of like, since we're like, there's no like blacksmiths. Of course, there is a blacksmith though. There is a blacksmith in Darkshore though. I think, right? I'm not going to say that. We'll let him slide on that one. He's trying to kind of say that there's no blacksmithing in Darnassus. You know what I mean? Yeah. If like, all right. So yeah, there's blacksmithing at Darkshore. Yeah. So he was like saying, he's basically saying there's no blacksmithing in Darnassus. So maybe the high elf priests of the night elves don't really kind of like bless the use of mail armor. But I'm like, that's not really true because you've got warriors. I mean, night elf warriors, and night elf warriors wear mail armor. So, and if you go up and look at the warrior night elf warrior trainers, I'm sure they're wearing mail or plate armor. So that's that doesn't really make any sense. So whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, but the goal is to make it kind of. Yeah, what he said. Yeah, I would have made you roll protection. That and Fury Trees are the only ones that provide support to allies in a way. Imp Battle Shout and Fury. Oh no, we already have. No, I'm not doing it. Yeah, I don't have Imp. Yeah, I wasn't. All right. Yeah, I was just talking to the guild leader. Valstay, what's up, dude? Yeah, the guild leader's like, he's like, if you're gonna, he's trying to make it so that the characters, actually, it's really smart. The guild leader of this guild is trying to make it so that your character, your talent builds, try to help out your guildmates. So, like, if you're grouping with guildmates and you're playing this kind of monk warrior, your talent build should be something that can be kind of a support build, right? Because think about it, if you're a monk warrior and you're wearing leather armor only, leather or cloth, and you always have to wear a robe, and you can only wear a mace or shield or a staff, you're really not set. You're really not set up to be a tank because you're too squishy. You just are. So that means you have to play some sort of other role. So what other role can you play? You really can't be like a huge DPSer unless you're using a staff and you go into arms, but he's saying he would try to make it so that you have to go protection. Like that's his preference. If someone's going to be in this guild and they're going to be like this monk style warrior, he wants them to be heavily protection. So if you're heavily protection, then you're not going to be DPS. So then what else is there? If you're not DPS and you're too squishy to be a tank, then you have to look at the monk warrior as some sort of a support character, like providing maybe improved battle shout and providing like improved demo shout, providing thunderclaps, providing like some sort of off tanking with taunts, stuff like that. Just try to think of ways that the class can be useful and helpful in a group context, because they can't provide a primary role of primary tank or probably even a primary DPS because of the fact that we are in the protection tree. So that's cool. I think that's really, really cool. You're trying to set up this character as a support, and there are no support characters in WoW, really. WoW doesn't have support characters. Like, there's no really... I mean, there's characters that can play support roles, but there's no pure support characters in WoW. All characters in WoW are either, like, a tank, or you're a DPS, or you're a healer, right? There's no character that's like in, like, Ion or something, or like in, Lineage 2, where you have, like, a character that just buffs people. They do very little damage, but they provide a lot of buffs to the group. Maybe like a bard class or something, a bard who provides all kinds of group buffs, does a little bit of damage, but they do some healing and do some group buffing. Yeah. Now the paladin, well, but the warlock is a DPS class though. So warlocks are not support. I'm talking about there is no. Don't argue with me. Okay, you can't argue this point. There are no support classes. I'm just going to tell you that there are classes that can help people, that can support, but they're not pure support classes. There's no pure support class in World of Warcraft, right? Like if you're a paladin, yes, paladin's probably the closest because of all the buffs they can give, right? So different classes provide support. Warlocks give buffs, priests give buffs, druid give buffs. I'm not saying that there's not classes that can't support, but the problem is they are primarily not support. They're not primarily a support class. Like a warlock's primary reason for it being is not support; it's for damage. A paladin's primary reason for being is tank, damage, or healing. Okay? So what I'm saying is there's classes in other MMOs that can't be a primary DPS, they can't be a primary tank, and they can't be a primary healer, but they are a primary support. That's the difference. But you're not listening to me. They can't Okay, a druid, no matter how you build these characters out, if your druid is still going to be a better healer than he is a support class, right? Unless, maybe there's some weird, bizarre build you could do, but primarily he's not going to be, you're not listening to me. He's going to, even if he's being a support character, I guarantee you he can do more healing than he can supporting. Unless you're calling his off heals as support, which you could. Druid a druid and paladin would be the closest, and shaman. The basically hybrid classes, the ones that they can play any role, are going to be your closest to support, right? And you could build them to be like if you built like a hybrid paladin, or not even a paladin. Druid's probably better. If you built like a hybrid druid, where you gave them the ability to like have all the improved might of the wild, and you try to make all their buffs at their strongest they could be. You try to build them out, so yeah, I mean, you could definitely do it but what I'm saying is the game isn't built that way. That when they made World of Warcraft, they never designed as a pure support class. They never did. Where there's other MMOs that they are designed to be purely support. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference. You can build classes in WoW to be support, but the game wasn't designed to make a character that, hey, this is purely a support character. Right? Yeah, shaman, but yeah, there's games that have classes that are just support classes. They're designed to be support. Yeah, actually, the shaman's is good too because the totems. Yeah, but again, all those but again, that's the hybrid class. The shaman, the druid, the paladin are the only classes that you could even make an argument that they could really be a support. You know what I mean? Yeah. But again, if you're playing a paladin, and you're trying to be support, you're not you're not playing him to his best. You're not playing him to his utmost, right? I don't care how you build out the paladin. He's either going to be a better healer, better tank, or a better DPS than he is going to be a pure support. That's what I'm trying. I don't think you guys are understanding what I'm trying to say. I'm talking about support classes where all you do is support. Like if you go into Lineage 2, there's classes that are purely support classes. They are designed to be support. They can't even DPS. Like they can DPS, but it's going to be like, oh, they'll do like if you did like a DPS meter, they're going to be coming in at like 10% group damage. That's it. That's the most they can do because they're not designed to do DPS. That's what I'm trying to say. There's classes that are designed to be support. World of Warcraft was not made that way. There aren't classes in WoW that were purely designed to be support. Yes, there are classes that can play that role, but they weren't designed to be purely support. That's what I'm trying to say. There's MMOs where there's classes that are purely designed to be support. WoW is not one of those games. Okay? So, sorry, I just want to make sure you guys, I don't think you're getting it. You're not getting it. $64. Yeah, Bard and Rift is Bard and Rift though. The thing with Rift though is because Rift has the soul system, right? Rift has the soul system. You can do like, cause I play Bard and Rift. It's one of my favorite classes. You can do a shit ton of damage as a Bard and Rift, and you can, it like Rift, you can truly be a DPS support and a healer with a Bard. You can do tons of damage, tons of healing, and provide tons of group buffs as a Bard in Rift. You won't be the top DPS, but you can still do, some damage. Yeah, the Bard in Rift is insanely powerful in my opinion. It's a very strong class. The Bard in Ashes of Creation was also incredibly powerful. Actually, the Bard in Ashes of Creation was probably one of the most unique MMO classes I've ever played. Like, it was very unique and very cool. Like, the Bard in Ashes of Creation. It's too bad Ashes of Creation failed because that Bard was really cool. And took a lot of, like, timing and skill. It was actually a really fun class to play. Yeah. You've always hated the concept of a Bard as a D&D guy. I did, yeah. Well, they always make fun of it. The Bard is forever made fun of in D&D. Yeah. Like, what's the Bard? Like every time they make a joke about bars, like you see like a comic strip with the Bard, right? It's always like, what? Okay, Bard, it's your turn. What are you gonna do? I'm going to charm this person and then drink a mug of ale. That's like every time. he's running off this loot, charming people. You gotta love it, man. Did you guys ever read the Snark comic? I don't know what was it called. Like, let's see, Dragon. Let's see, Dragon. What was it called? Dragon Magazine. Snark comic. Is it Snark? I can't. Or is it Snark? I'm trying to remember what it was called. Snarf Quest. Yeah, Snarf Quest. One of my favorite comics. Snarf Quest Dragon Magazine. Oh, they had a compilation. So Dragon Magazine had all these little cartoons in it sometimes, and they had this one called Snarf Quest, which is absolutely hilarious. Yeah. Anyways, I've got a shit ton of Dragon magazines in my closet behind me. Three hot spices, one. But the cool thing is, what I'm trying to say is, to try to create it when we think about a warrior as like a monk warrior, like, and trying to somehow build them out to be useful in a group context when they're wearing leather armor and a cloth robe. Like, and they can only use a staff or a mason shield, and they have to be primarily protection built. That's really weird when you think about those rules, because you're not gonna be a good tank because you don't have like plate or mail armor, so you can't really perform the tank role, and you're not really gonna be a DPS class because if you're built in the protection tree, you're just not gonna have much DPS. So then what do you do? Like, how, that's what I'm saying. So that's what we have to look at, Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I think we basically, I think the role that we would perform with this character is mostly like an off tank, providing some debuffs, having the ability to obviously taunt mobs off of healers, having the ability to kind of debuff. Yeah, well, we can't. That was never the goal, though, Val. The goal of this character was never to be Fury. I said that all along in the beginning, that we went through the talent calculator and we built, because I've leveled warriors to 16 hardcore multiple times, and they were both dual wield Fury. So I wasn't going to do that again. It's like, been there, done that. It's like, I'm not going to do that 3 times in a row. So, but yeah, leather wielding, yeah, you'd just be a glass cannon, right? You'd be a glass cannon. And the guild leader of this guild was saying, well, you could do like improve battle shot, but to do improve battle shot, I've got to go a little bit. I got to put a little bit more talent points into that tree than I wanted to. You know what I mean? Than I wanted to. So, I went deflection for damage mitigation and just to get to the next tree. I went improved charge just because when you're low level on a warrior, you have very little rage generation. You're always rage starved on warriors. I mean, you're just continuously rage starved. And the problem with the rage potions, and I talked about it earlier, is this is hardcore WoW. So if you're popping rage potions every time the potions are off cooldown, you're never going to be able to pop your healing potion. Which means if the shit hits the fan, you have no healing potion. So rage potions are kind of out the window, right? Because they're just too risky. Unless you know you're not going to be, unless you know in a fight that there's no danger, But I don't even want to do that, because then you get so used to just using your rage potion, you're going to get a situation where you don't think there's a dangerous fight, right? But then you use a rage potion, and then all of a sudden you get an ad. An ad comes, or maybe a patrol comes by. And now you've got 2 or 3 mobs on you, and guess what? You got no healing potion. So rage potions are out the window. The Gamer's Darkness, what is this bard suck? I'll have to watch that later while I stay. So anyway, so the goal was to build out kind of a protection. What I was doing was this build. This is what I have currently, is this. This is where I'm at right now, level 20, well, I'm 29. So basically, this is where I'm at right now. The only thing, if we're thinking about making this more of a support, like trying to build this to help our group, like in a group context, what can we do in this tree to help the group more, right? Like, we don't really need cruelty, but then, so if we went to booming voice, it's going to increase the area of, it's going to increase the effect and duration of. So I mean, really, honestly, if I wanted to build this character as more of a support, we definitely would want, we would want this. We wouldn't want cruelty. We would want booming voice. Okay? And then we probably would want this. If we really wanted to be the best support warrior we could be as a monk, a cleric, the guild leader is saying this is kind of like a cleric, we would do this. This is going to give our team the best support, because our buffs are going to last 50% longer. It's going to be easier to cover more people when we cast the buff, because it's got a bigger area of effect. And then we can increase, melee attack power, bonus of battle shout. So this would be our support build. So I think at 60, we'll roll this build. At 60, we're going to stay with this build, and we'll respec into this at 60. But as I'm leveling up, I may not do that, just because it'll slow down. Obviously, I'm not in a group most of the times, so it's kind of pointless to do this. But I think at 60, we'll respec into this. And then over here, of course, we're going to be here, here, here. What else can we do here that would help people out? Reduces the cooldown of, I mean, we could reduce the cooldown of our taunt if we really wanted to go down that road. really, there's really not much else we can do. The only thing I was thinking about was I would like to have more rage, so we're not, you know, in between fights. So trying to get more points into tactical mastery would be useful. So I thought about dropping out of improved charge at, you know, at higher levels, and putting those 2 points into tactical mastery. You know, having like retaining up to 20 rage when I change stances is pretty good, and of course having anger management would be even better, because then moving from fight to fight, you retain, you know, your rage decays so much slower. So if we did this, then we don't really need shield slam. Shield slam isn't necessary. I mean, it would be nice to have though, but it's not necessary. But if we did this, we just don't have enough talent points, you know. Now we can't even get into one-handed weapon specialization. So, but it still would be an interesting build. But I don't think it's worth it to lose all these other points into one-handed weapon specialization, you know, and possibly getting into shield slam. So I don't know. So I think we're better off doing, like, even this kind of sucks because we put the extra points here. So I don't know. I'm just trying to think at level 60, what would we do for like a group support build? I don't think we're gonna. I don't think it's worth it. Let's see. Increase third generation attacks on defensive stance. That might actually be worth getting. I mean, if we wanted to be more of a help for our group, like increasing my threat generation while in defensive stance might be pretty useful. So instead of going into like improved disarm, although improved disarm could be good too. It's hard to say. It's tough. I don't think you need 3 points in shield block. A lot of people, because really all it's doing is it's just giving you an extra duration on shield block. Like that extra like point here, all it does is just increase the duration of your shield block to 2 seconds instead of 1. Which is actually, that's pretty useful, but only if you're really taking a lot of attacks at you. You know, it's useful because every time you do take a block, you're going to get 1 rage point, because you have a 100% chance to get 1 point rage point. So if you increase the duration and there's multiple people attacking you, basically that's going to equal more rage for you. So it's pretty useful if we are. I say we grab a couple points into Defiance, maybe. So if we did this, yeah, I don't think we need anger management. So if we do this, we have 1 more point. I mean, we could go battle shout. Well, here's the thing. It's like, I don't need, of course, I am the only warrior in the guild. I'm the only warrior in the guild. So having improved battle shout would be really good for the guild, because I'm the only warrior. The guild is all priests and paladins except for me. I'm the only warrior. So I would provide a so having like improved battle shout would be a very powerful buff for the groups. What is it? It's 5 though. It's like 5 points. But if I take out tactical mastery, that means I can't stand stance, which at the minimum, like at my minimum, I need at least 2 points. At least 2 into tactical mastery. And I would like to have 4 Because 4 gives me it pushes me into the warrior abilities like disarm. So like let's say I charge and I'm in battle stance and I see maybe I don't know, I see like a two-handed wielding mob attacking the priest, the healer. And I can immediately like, you know, like charge him and disarm him, you know. Switch to Zerker stance, do the whatever the intercept. I could do an intercept and just disarm. But if I don't have 4 points, I don't have enough rage once I get there to do the disarm, because disarm takes 20 rage. So I would prefer to have at least 4 points here. So we could do something like this. Unless we wanted to. The other thing we could do is we could forgo shield slam and one-handed weapon specialization, right? And do something like this. And do something like this, where we prioritize buffing our group with Battle Shout, but we lose out on some damage, and we also lose out on Shield Slam, which kind of sucks. Because so I don't. I think the guild leader said he was fine with me not having improved Battle Shout. So I mean, we could do this build at 60. I think this would be decent. So we're gonna have slightly improved Battle Shout. Instead of like the 25% improvement, it's what, 5%? I don't know, whatever. It's all food for thought, right? Food for thought.
I'm listening. Farewell. Peace be with you. Good luck. Feel free to browse. May the stars guide you.
There it is. Oh, they didn't go with the... That's weird. They didn't go with the pure white tabard. And they went with orange instead of gold. That's... Some questionable decisions were made on the guild tabard. I would have gone with the pure white, and I would have gone with the gold instead of the orange. Here. So it's too muted, Too muted, the colors. So... I don't know why does the people have such a hard time making guild tabards? It's like not a difficult thing to do, but people fuck it up so much. I definitely would have gone with the. Here, I'll show you what I would have done. Just. But could be worse. I've seen a lot worse guild tabards. I mean, this design, right? No, apparently I can't do the tabard design.
I am honored. Greetings. Good luck, friend.
Really not. Well, let me do the tabard design. Okay. Interesting. It's just like, fuck you. You and your stupid tabard ideas. Screw you. Alright, so we've got Rend. We got shield wall, which we probably should get just as a precautionary thing. Oh, we got slam. How much damage does that do? Slam the opponent, causing weapon damage plus 32. It doesn't matter what stance we're in, so that's kind of cool. How come I don't see it on my... Oh, it is right there. Let's go ahead and grab it. Let's grab slam. God, it's so expensive, though. Even Rend is expensive. Let's grab Rend. Let's grab slam. Here, let's get some more money. Get some more money.
I am listening. Farewell.
Yeah, Rend rank 3, right? Oh, actually rank 4.
I am listening.
Where is melee weapon? Weapon damage plus 32. Okay. Let's try some slam action. And it should be usable in both stances, which it is. Alright. Ishnu.
Good luck, friend.
We're gonna get to 180? I don't think so. No way. what can we do here? We don't need all this.
May the stars guide you.
My music will help.
How many of those have you got?
50. I can do this all night. Never fear, flame is quiver in fear, for I don't, mommy! Evildoers, prepare to die! Avast ye! I'm gonna die! Now we have him! There's 37 more of me, asshole! Yeah! Hide behind the mound of dead bards.
I have to stand up to cast. I'm gonna be a sitting duck.
I've got your back.
All right, so that was the video. The Gamers Darkness Rising Bards suck. Thank you, Valstay, for your contribution. Valstay. No, what is the no? Actually, there's a better one though. Here, let's go. Oh, there's a bard song.
This video was sponsored by Stibble's Codex of Companions, a 5e book with...
Oh my gosh. He's literally at 1 hit point. Alright. Bard. It's your turn. What do you...
I stand up,
No.
confident,
Stop.
atop the rockery.
Dude, don't do this.
The last hit on this dragon is
No.
vicious mockery. Yeah, vicious mockery. It's the worst way to go, anticlimactic, I know. 1d4 damage, no longer a challenge. It's the worst way to go, anticlimactic, I know. 1d4 damage, no longer a challenge. He just died to some words, write it in the...
So what it was Bards cast Mockery, which is this total shit spell that does like 1d4 damage, right? And he's saying, oh, they're fighting this dragon. The dragon has 1 hit point left. And so the Bard's shining moment of glory, he finally can kill something with his stupid spell, Mockery. I'm going to cast Mockery, right? Like everybody else did the hard work to get the dragon down to 1 health HP, and he comes in and sings a stupid song or something and taunts the dragon, and the dragon dies, you know? Everybody loves to make fun of Bards, man. All right, I don't know where I'm going to level for tomorrow. I mean, I'm going to log off here in a minute, but I just don't know where we're going to start tomorrow. I mean, we still have some quests we can do in Stone Talon Peak. The one down here is dangerous. I mean, the Reclaiming the Charred Veil is a very dangerous quest for me because I'm so squishy. The harpies and the fire elementals. There's a lot of pathers in the Charred Veil, so it's actually very dangerous. What, you hate the Charred Veil, or you hate what? You hate bards, or we're still a little bit too low level to we're still too low level to do the Shimmering Flats. We still have some quests we can do here, I think. Yeah, we can do the Worgen in the Woods. And we can definitely get Abercrombie's crate. And we can probably do the plague spreaders. Although it's dangerous. Yeah, we might have to do some dangerous shit tomorrow. We might get killed tomorrow. Tomorrow might be the demise of this character. You hate parts just because we're in a situation where the stuff we need to do. I mean, unless I want to grind like mobs, which I really don't. I kind of would rather do some quests. Which is weird for me. Normally, I don't like to do quests, but I'm kind of not really in the mood to. I guess because this character's not good at grinding mobs. She doesn't really do very good damage, so grinding mobs just isn't efficient. So we're better off doing quests. So are there any lower level quests we could do? I mean, we've got... Oh, we got the Ogre's Monocle. Yeah, we can do... I think we can do the Duskwood ones. Oh, we still have some in Redridge. Yowler's Paw will give us a 4 stamina with the ring, which is probably worth doing. And we haven't done the Blackrock Champions. We're not going to do that one. We still need to turn this one in. The scales. So we're not going to do. Yeah. Not as bad as... Yeah! This character's so funny. Oh, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. You know, talking to the guild leader of this guild, we might theory craft some interesting stuff for this character. This character's level 60 build might be pure support. Like, it's going to be a weird build, I think, at 60. I'm actually really looking forward to grouping with people in this guild at level 60. Like, it'll be really interesting. I'm not sure... It's one of those things where I'm going to have to play this character a lot at level 60 in group context to figure out how I'm actually going to approach playing this character. Like, you know, it's going to be interesting, to say the least. So, but anyways, I'm out, man. I'm going to bed. I'm tired. It's 2:33 in the morning. We'll pick this up tomorrow. See if we can get to level 32, 33. I mean, we got 4 more levels to go to max out shield specialization. Really, the big thing too is that I think at level, I don't know, I think at 34 is when I might try doing the Zerker stance. I'm not gonna do it now because I'll get killed. I mean, I think even, I don't know. I think the last time I did the Zerker class quest, I believe my warrior was like level 33 or 34, and she had, you know. I did it. We did it on the other character though. Before I go to bed, remember my Grey Gear warrior? Did we do the Zerker stance? Was it on my other account? I hope it wasn't. Remember my Grey Gear warrior that I was leveling, who was level 39? I think it was my other account, man. I'd be super excited if she's on this account, but I don't think so. No, it was my other account. Let me see if I can find a YouTube clip of her real quick. Because I'm just curious if she did the Zerker stance quest, because she was in all gray gear. Gray gear. Year ago. Yeah, here she is at level 32, and she definitely didn't have Zerker stance yet. Level 33. Level 35. So here she is at 35. And well, no, wait, we have intercept here. I'm just curious, because if the Grey Gear only where you could do the quest at like 35, then I know this character could do it at 34 or whatever. I don't see it on my bars though, but I have most of my bars hidden. which can be annoying when I'm trying to figure stuff out. I see intercept on the bar here, though. But intercept's not a... is not a... I know it requires... it's not an it's not a... Damn it. I gotta log back in. I gotta log back in. I don't think intercept... Does intercept require a Zerker stance? I don't think it does. It does, though, doesn't it? It's been too long since I played Warrior. Let's see. Actually, well, we have a warrior here. We've got... Let's see if I get my warrior here. I've got a warrior that I leveled to 60 in hardcore before. Well, here's my level 50 warrior. Let me just jump on this warrior really quick. Okay, so we have Berserker's Rate, requires Berserker stance. Intercept does require Berserker stance. Okay, that's what I wanted to check. But can you learn it? Can you learn Intercept without knowing Berserker? That's what I'm... Because I see Intercept on my bar here. Oh, wait, here we go. No, because... Oh, here it is. There's a Berserker stance on here. Let's see if I use it. Because if my Great Gear Warrior had Zerker stance at like 35, that's going to be interesting. Here, let's check this out.
Level. We got a level. Oh my god.
This is when I was in all Gray Gear, so I was grinding raptors. You know, trying to get... You can see I'm fighting mobs that are green because I'm in Gray Gear. Okay, so let's just see if... Do we use Zerker stance? That's what I'm curious. Yeah, I'm not using it right now. I'm just sitting in battle stance. A lot of times I'll put I'll have macros for stuff, and so the abilities are on my bars, even though I don't know them yet. Like, so I might have Zerker stats on my bars, but I don't even... But the icon shouldn't show up, though, if I don't know it. Huh, I don't see me using... Let's see... I wish I would have numbered these. Let's see, level 33. Let's see if Zerker stance is on this bar. Yeah, see, it's not. See, Zerker stance isn't there. Which means I probably did the quest. It's still not there. All right, so somewhere between 33 and 35, I did it. Yeah, it's still not on my bar.
I wish we're not.
Still not on my bar. It's on my bar here. And here I'm 33. Interesting. Is that the one we just opened up? Here I'm 34 and I don't have Zerker stance. Okay. Oh, I played a good song there. I would love to see me doing the quest on a Gregor only warrior. Ooh, we can show the previews here. No, these are all like lower level. Don't have Zerker stance. Do have Zerker stance, and I'm level Level 36. Oh, that was cool. I remember that. I had this really cool weak aura. I was like, sometimes I would forget what weapons I had equipped. I don't know why. I just did. So I actually had this weak aura that showed icons, basically icons for what weapons were equipped. So if I had a sword and a shield, it would show a sword here and a shield here. It was actually really cool weak aura. And I don't see Zerker stance here. Yeah, what if I did? I would have done the quest on stream. See, here I have it, and here I have it. Son of a bitch. So I'm guessing that at level 34 or 35, on a gray gear only warrior, I did the Zerker stance quest. So I think on this character, when we get to like 34, we'll just, maybe even 33. We could probably do it at 33, but so it just depends on what gear I have. So, but anyways, I'm out of here. I'm going to bed. I will catch you guys later, man. Peace out, man. Have a good one, Valstay. I'll see you guys.